So I will just do it like this, because I don't want to put the whole thing back together if it's not going to work. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video, or as always, if you're new here, welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to be fixing my cluster. This is the new one I rebuilt with the trans temp. I had to take it out because I would plug it in and there would be nothing. The backlights would light up, the check engine light, all that would work, but there would be no gauges. Basically the whole cluster would die except the backlighting and everything. So I pulled it out. I'm going to take it apart, look at it, look at all the connections, and then what I think I'm going to try to do, because when I put this in my truck, it started doing weird things, so I think I'm going to try to reuse that one. I've heard, that's my original cluster, I've heard the 03 to 04 trucks, the clusters sometimes come pre-programmed, so all you have to do is hook it in and it'll work. So I'm going to try that, see if it'll work first, and then I guess we'll go from there. So let's start tearing these apart and see what we can do with them. Alright, so as you can see, this is my original cluster apart. And I've already done a rebuild on this once. I had to bridge these two because this pad up here, when I pulled the light off, it ripped that whole pad off. So this was the first rebuild I ever did. So it's kind of like lessons learned there. But, I mean, all in all, it still looks good. It still works good. I'm just going to try to tap into this here, and hopefully I can get this to work. So it's pretty straightforward. It's already here, the mounting holes are, and then you'll have to add some solder to your lights. I believe it's this top one here and the bottom one here, and that should be it. And obviously if you're installing LEDs like I am, they are, you know, they have to go in a certain way. So flip this guy over. So you'll want to desolder these four. So I'm going to get to doing that right now. And it's the same as if you've rebuilt this one, if you've rebuilt it before. If you haven't, they can only go in one way. So you'll just line up this and this with the big and small hole. That, and I'll just kind of clip in. Put back over on the back. You got your tabs. Now you can either leave these straight up like so, or just kind of bend them over. I always kind of bend them over just a hair. I don't like to bend them all the way over. Just enough that it kind of holds it in place as you're soldering, so it doesn't fall out just a little bit and not seat properly. So then you've got that. Go ahead and grab your solder and your soldering iron. Alright, and that stepper motor's in. Looks solid. Now we'll go to the light. And if you have lights like these, what I'll normally like to do is bend them out. And once you have them out like that, just kind of wiggle the light a little bit and the whole little thing pulls out like so. And then you'll want to clip these. So now that I got these clipped down, you want these as short as possible. I'll leave these a little bit longer just so I can kind of bend them out flat like that on each side. So that way it just makes as much contact with the pad as possible. And then I believe on these ones, the positive side is always going to be the top. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure that's how it goes. So I'm going to go ahead and solder this one. That's all in. I guess we will put a needle on this and go plug this cluster into the truck and see what it does. So I will just do it like this because I don't want to put the whole thing back together if it's not going to work. hopefully it works, because if it works and I can keep the original cluster with that, that'd be great, because then I can just figure out what's wrong with this one, sell that one, then I don't have to worry about it. So I'm gonna go plug this into the truck real quick and see what we got. Okay, so here we are inside the truck. As you can see, cluster's here. It's nowhere near put together. I'm just doing this to see if it'll work. So, all right, so now it's plugged in. So let's see if anything happens when I start it. Well, that already doesn't work. All right, so I went ahead and I changed that light bulb back out because I had it in there upside down and it was bad once I finally got it in there. So I was wrong on that. The positive side, if you want to know, is the bottom pad, and then the negative side is the top pad. So I can probably show you on this one. If you can see that little pad in there, the very bottom corner is the positive, the very top corner up there is the negative. So just keep that in mind if you're doing LEDs on that. Got the trans temp in. When I plugged it into the truck and turned the truck on, it would go down and kind of move up like it was reading. So I take that as a good sign. You won't really know until I get in the truck and drive it around for a minute. But I took my new faceplate off of that cluster. That was the one with the original trans temp that I got, and this is my original cluster. When I took my new faceplate off, put my new needles on, I'm not going to put the actual cover on yet because I'm going to put it in the truck and zero out all my needles, make sure they're all right, and then probably end up trying to take it out for a drive, see if that trans temp moves. If it does, that would be amazing. So let's pop this back in the truck. Okay, so I'm going to show you real quick what it's doing here. So you see it there. Then when I go to start the truck up, everything goes up. It'll pop down and then kind of raise back up a little bit like it's reading something. So all my other needles are good. I got them all zeroed out, so they're all fine. And I'm probably going to drive the truck up the road a little bit, come back, see what it does. Okay, so I drove a little bit and it is reading, which is sick. So I didn't want to drive too much because I'm low on gas, but this is the stock 03 cluster that came in the truck. Didn't have a trans temp. All I did was put that stepper in there, and I guess the cluster was pre-programmed for it. So that's super sick. I'm super excited about that. Kind of bummed because I wasted money on that other cluster when I could have just bought like a $7 stepper. But I can fix that other cluster, sell it, make my money back. So I'm not too worried about that one. I'm just so excited that I have my stock cluster in here. Don't have to worry about that other one. That other one was a Escalade cluster, so it had like steering wheel controls, and when I put it in here it messed with the driver settings because they had certain things set, and this truck obviously doesn't have steering wheel controls, so it messed with all that. I had to go through, reset the truck, all that good stuff. But as far as I know, as long as you have an 03 to 04 Silverado, I mean, it's worth a shot. Even if you really have an 05, 06, 07, it's worth a shot to, if you can, put that stepper motor in, just see if it'll work. It'll save you a couple $100 if it works, and if not, the stepper motor's already in. All you have to do is go maybe to a dealership, and then they can program that trans temp. That's really it for today's video, guys. That's kind of all I wanted to show you, seeing if that would work, and it does, and I'm super excited, super surprised, honestly, and I figured that'd be cool to share with you guys. So if you have a 03, 04, want to try this out, save a couple $100, get you a trans temp gauge without having to, prices for these things are insane, so save you some money. But yeah, like I said, that's gonna wrap it up for today's video, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and get all this put back together, reassembled, finally put the dash bezel back on because it's been off for like a month or so. It's just been chilling out back there. Finally get all that put back together. Truck will be complete, everything done, won't have to worry about it again, hopefully for a while. If you liked this video, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Trying to get to 500, guys. We are so close to 500. Follow me on all my socials, mainly just Instagram, Facebook. I'll leave all that in the description below. My channel email, if you need to contact me for any reason, is also going to be in the description. As always, leave a comment down below if you have any questions about this. This one's probably going to be a big one for questions. So don't be afraid. Leave them down in the comments. I will answer them to the best of my ability. Literally all I did was in the video. I put that stepper motor in, put that light in, put it in the truck, and it works. So that's literally it. If you have any more questions about anything else, let me know down in those comments. I hope you guys have an amazing day, and I will see you next time.